There's a couple of booster boxes from the Sword and Shield era that are starting to get pretty expensive and the supply is starting to dry up. I feel like a lot of people aren't talking about Sword and Shield right now, but there's things happening with some of these boxes that is going under the radar, I think, of normal people because everybody is just talking about Scarlet and Violet. But some of these boxes are really showing signs that they're about to take off. And when you notice these sort of things, you gotta ask yourself, you know what? If I don't have any of these boxes, maybe right now is not the worst time to buy because there's some key indicators with these booster boxes right now that really shows that they're probably going to start going off. So first here is Fusion Strike. So I was kind of surprised because Fusion Strike was sort of like Chilling Reign like a few months ago where you could find them for like $210, $220, but now it is like impossible. You can't get them for $210, $220 anymore. You can still find Chilling Reign for around $220. I've checked eBay, but Fusion Strike is a lot less available than Chilling Reign. And all these boxes now are selling for 250 to 260. And I think a lot of people really haven't talked about this, but it was just 210, 220 like a few months ago, and now it's 250 to 260. So if you go on TCG Player, you can look at the sales. For these Sword and Shield boxes, they don't sell as much as, Scarlet and Violet boxes, but you can see with the sales data, they're still selling, pretty much almost every single day here for like 250 to 260. If you go to the listings, you can see here that there's no like huge sellers that selling them for like anything above 250. They're all 260, and these are smaller sellers. And the first like big place we have here that has a lot of sales, it's like 265. And there's just not that many listed. You can see this person has 6 listed, but other than that, all these people just have 1 listed. If we go to the second page here, we can see that some of these people start to have more quantities, but it's getting more expensive here. So there's just not that much available, even just for around 250 to 260. There's not much. So yeah, it's showing some signs that it's gonna go up even more pretty soon here. So I was very surprised to see this. And if you go on eBay to see which ones you can even buy right now, you'll notice that you can't find them for 220, 210 anymore. They're all 250 and above. You can look at all these listings. You can see here 270, 270, 260, 270, and I'm including shipping here. This is even on bid right now. It's actually going for 260, and you keep scrolling down. You can see literally they're all 260. There's no 210, 220. It's just not that much supply. With Chilling Reign though, you can find them for like 220, like they're more available. But Fusion Strike definitely, it's actually pretty like you have to pay 250 to 260. So these are getting pretty expensive right now. And if you want to go to sales of these Fusion Strike boxes, you will see they are selling for that amount. You can see here this one sold. It's kind of hard to say with the United Kingdom because they recently just had the Fusion Strike boxes got out of stock. So I think their prices might be a little bit lower because they had more supply because they were still available. But those recently went out of stock. But you can see here 240. Some of these are lower, but these are from like small sellers. 250. Keep scrolling down to find some more. UK, not gonna count that. 260. You can see 240. So they're all selling for 250 to 260. That's like the market price now for Fusion Strike boxes. So yeah, they're definitely starting to go up. And like I showed you with TCG Player and on eBay, there's none available for 220, 230. They're all 250, 260, and there's not even that many listings for 260. So I really think these are going to creep up to the 300s next year. Definitely in the beginning, I really feel like these are going to probably start reaching that point because there's just not that much supply of these anymore for like low 200s. So now the next set I want to talk about, the next box, is Lost Origin. Now, I'm going to be completely transparent with you guys. I don't have much Fusion Strike, but I have a lot of Lost Origin. And the reason why I have a lot of Lost Origin is because I really believe this is going to be the second most expensive booster box from the Sword and Shield era in about maybe a year or two from now. I know Sword and Shield base is like mid 300s. It's gonna just stagnate. Sword and Shield base, it's gonna fall behind to all these other sets that actually have like alternate arts. It's just supply. Sword and Shield base there wasn't that much of supply, so that's why they're that expensive. But I think in a few years it will stagnate and these other boxes will catch up. And I think Lost Origin is going to be the second most expensive one, just my opinion. I think maybe next to that will be Fusion Strike, then Chilling Reign, maybe Brilliant Stars, but Lost Origin, I think, is one of the more popular Sword and Shield sets, obviously behind Evolving Skies. But I think Lost Origin, Fusion Strike, Chilling Reign, those are the most popular ones. But really, this has the Giratina, which is why I invested pretty heavily into Lost Origin, is because it just has that card. The artist, we all know, is very popular. So just that alone, I just knew this was going to be a good set to have in the long run. It also has Trainer Gallery with Pikachu's, has the Aerodactyl. Overall, this is a very good set. So you can see here, these got reprinted with Silver Tempest like about a year ago, And these were available a few months ago. Let's check here. For low 200s, you can see here, around September, you can see they're around $200. But now you can see they're on 240, and 240 is kind of an understatement because if you actually look at eBay sales and eBay listings, they're closer to 250, just like Fusion Strike. But you can see here for the listings of these Lost Origin boxes, you can see they're around like mid 240s. You go to the second page, they're selling for around mid 240s. And these, like, once again, there's not that much supply, but there is this one seller here that has, I guess, a ton of them, but around 250. So these boxes are like mid 240s to $250 right now. And if you go to eBay to check the listings, you will see that it is basically, pretty impossible to find them in the 200s anymore, low 200s, all around 240s. You will find some independent sellers selling them for around 240. There's this listing right here I saw. This person's in Canada. They only have a few available. I'm expecting them to be out of stock in not too long from now because these are under market by like 10, 15 bucks. But everything else you can see are 270s. Some of these listings, I don't know if I haven't really checked, but these might be like smaller sellers just by the stock photos. But you can see there are some people selling for 240. But other than that, just look at how many are listed. And I searched at Lost Origin Booster Box. There's just not that many. It's not like super prevalent where you have huge sellers selling them. Like, these are just all independent listings, and they're all around mid 240s, 250s. And when you see things like this with Lost Origin and Fusion Strike, where it's just small independent listings for a few boxes, and there's no huge sellers, and there's just not that much, listed, and they're going for around 240s, 250s. These are some pretty key indicators, just in my opinion, where I really see these starting to go up, because at these price points and them just being listed by independent sellers, there just isn't that much. These big sellers don't really have them anymore. They're all gone because people bought them all, and now just individual people are capturing profits or whatever. And this is really signs that these are going to start taking off. And if you want to look at the sales, you can see they are selling for around 260. You can see here 220. There are some listings like independent people selling for a little bit less, 240, 245, 223. And you can just keep scrolling down. There are some, these are older listings, but they are selling for around 240 here to 250. It does range a little bit. Sometimes there's some sell it for 220, but you can see here, there's around 240, 250 right now market price. So yeah, these are just some key indicators that I look at when I see these boxes that shows signs that it's going to start moving higher, that there's just not that much supply. All of them are going for 250s. There's no big sellers anymore. They're all small independent listings, and people are still consistently buying these. So just wanted to talk about these couple of Sword and Shield sets that I really see are going to start to move up here even more, because a lot of these have been kind of stagnating. We all know this for the past few months, but these are starting to creep up now. Fusion Strike, Lost Origin, they're starting to go to 250 and go closer to 300. So it'll be interesting to see where these boxes go next year. In the beginning, I think these will continue to grow, and we'll see how long it takes for these boxes to get to $300. Definitely the market now is more hot with Scarlet and Violet. But seeing these prices with these Sword and Shield boxes, I think it's going to start moving. I think people are going to go back to Sword and Shield and look at these boxes and climb up. Because once these boxes start climbing up, people are going to even buy more because they see the strength. And I just think there's some really good things that are going to happen with Sword and Shield in the near future here. So that's the end of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one.